Well, everybody, it was a good season. Buffalo Bills lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. 4 losses to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Stings, but hey, at least we beat the Ravens. And that's talking to you, Bible boy, in the comments. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. Welcome, everybody, to the Red Zone Report. I'm your host, Izzy. My co-host, Akeem, co-founder of Built in Buffalo, will be here in a little bit, but we decided to go ahead and get this thing started. Yeah, our Buffalo Bills, they took the L today. It happens. It sucks. A lot went right, a lot went wrong. Their Superman outdid our Superman in our Superman style today. Usually our boy gets the rushing touchdowns and the one passing touchdown. Today our guy had 2 passing touchdowns and Mahomes only had 1. Game was a dogfight, right? And we knew it was going to be, and if we were going to win, we probably needed to be 2 scores up on them, 9 points or better. And it is what it is, man. Mafia, stand up. We weren't even supposed to be here, but we were, and we took out the Ravens doing it. We got a little hater in the crowd today. He's wanting to see some tears. You ain't gonna see. I don't know what's going on with my network, but something just happened. Anyways, everybody, we took an L today. All right. We took an L today, and it sucks. But this is something we can build on next year and, hopefully beat the Ravens again in the playoffs like, we tend to do. It stings. It stings. Josh Allen went out there. He put up 22, completions on 34 attempts, 237 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, in a solid game. Solid game. Man played, pretty well. Steve Spagnuolo is one hell of a, defensive coordinator. He's one hell of a defensive coordinator. And when the chips were on the table, it was 4th down. He sent one of the most exotic blitzes that I've seen in the playoff game. Like, that was bold. That was bold. Because if the receiver that was being covered by that corner is on a 9 route instead of a slant, that's a 1st down. It was a bold call by Steve Spagnuolo. And, it happens, like, it doesn't happen often because Steve he's a tricky guy, but it stings, it stings. It sucks, but we're here for it. James Cook had himself a good day. 13 carries, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. There was a lot of time in that game where Chris Jones wasn't out there. I don't know if he was sick or injured or whatever it was, but I have no idea what's going on with my internet right now. For some reason, it is dropping me. I'm gonna bring in my co-host Akeem, so if it happens again, we got somebody on the screen. Hey, Rich, welcome to the show, baby. I'm gonna do something about my internet.
Yeah. ARich, Hakeem Rich is built in Buffalo. If you don't know us by now, ladies and gentlemen, please get to know us. Our Buffalo Bills suffered defeat to the Kansas City Chiefs by the score of 32-29. Ladies and gentlemen, another heartbreaking defeat. You know, you would think this is our time. You would think this is the time where we would get over the hump, get over that threshold of Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs and suffering defeat. We had a number of opportunities again in this game, and offensively, it just didn't happen. It was the better coached team won the game today. And that's what happened. When you have elite coaches like Andy Reid and Spags, and those guys won the game today overall. We was predictable on our third downs and our fourth downs, and we didn't have no counters. We didn't even have a counter to what we've been doing all season long. We just wanted to do it. And I understand you have to stop the play at the end of the day, but coaching is coaching, and they had a lot easier time of converting these short down and distance situations because they ran a number of different plays. You had no idea what was coming from the offensive mind of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the predictability of the Buffalo Bills once again lost the game for the Buffalo Bills. We had a number of opportunities to win this game, and we decided to go man up, head up against the Kansas City Chiefs. They knew what we were doing. We ran it anyway. We didn't have any counter move to combat what was going on. They sold out and won. They sold out. We knew they were selling out, and we had no fucking counter to this shit, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting. So it's a lot that we got to process. It's a lot that we got to go through again. We could talk about the safeties, and we could talk about Christian Benford being out. Fuck all that. We still had the opportunity to win the game despite Rat being out, despite Christian Benford being out. We had an opportunity to win the game. 32-29, the ball is in Josh Allen's hands. Where else would we want to be at that time? We want the ball in Josh Allen's hands, down 3. That's where we want to be. And we failed today. And there's nothing we could say. So when all these media outlets and one of these media guys and these Ryan Clarks and these Shannon Sharps and these Stephen A. Smiths, they have all the ammo displayed on what we just showed tonight, that we failed to win this game. And we're going to hear about it for the next 8 months. And it's back to the damn drawing board once again. And it's upsetting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty upset too, but I don't get that hyped unless I get slapped or something. So, but yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. That blitz at the end there, that exotic ass blitz was wild. I didn't see it coming, so that game came down to.
I'm 40 years old. We 40 plus. We've been going through this for a long time.
Well, no, we went through a drought first, and
we've been going through. There's a lot of guys that's not our age and haven't been going through what we've been going through. They young pups that's been going through the little trials and tribulations. We've been going through this for a very long time.
Yeah, we went through the Super Bowls in the 90s, man. I mean, I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9, but. Yeah, then we sucked for a while. Now we're here, and we're on the cusp, and we just can't get past these bastard Chiefs. And I know a lot of people, blaming the refs. And the refs did have some missed calls. Whatever. That's every game. That's every game. They're gonna have some. They missed some on us too. There was a legal hands to the face I saw on us. Like they weren't terrible though. We executed like crap, right? We went out there, we played like dog shit. And then they didn't most of the game. I mean, there were some times when we went out there and we handled business, but at the end of the day, at the end of the game, clutch time, last drive, Josh Allen had the ball last. Not counting that last.
That's what you want.
Josh Allen had the ball.
That's what you want. I can't ask you nothing more.
We couldn't scheme a damn thing for it.
We couldn't scheme We couldn't draw up a damn thing for it. You think if Patrick Mahomes is down? You think if Patrick Mahomes is down 3 in that situation, he getting stopped right there? Come on, that's the difference right there. That's as great as Josh Allen is. That's going to be the difference right there. And shout out Patrick. And play calling.
Play calling was rough.
Play calling was rough.
Like we couldn't get screens the whole game. Why would you run a screen on 3rd and 8?
That's
the whole game. We couldn't get screens. 3rd and 8, last drive of the game, 2 minutes left. We doing a screen? 2 minutes left?
Because that's where that's what the offense is predicated off of, the horizontal plays and getting the ball out in space and getting your balls and getting your guys out in space in order for them to make plays. But at the end of the day, when they was drawing up that blitz, that was a coaching mismatch. What happened, what we seen right there, is nothing really. They're gonna talk about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, but it's nothing really Josh Allen. That was a coaching mismatch right there.
Yeah.
And,
well,
and Spags out coaching, he was ready, and despite all of that, Kincaid had a chance.
He had a chance.
Kincaid had a chance, but again, besides that, we up 22-21, fourth and short. We go for predictability once again. Everybody in the building knows we're going to do it. The Kansas City Chiefs, their offense, their defense, their coaching staff, they was well prepared for it, and they have the men to stop it. And obviously, they stop it, and we didn't have no counters to that. So, not being able to take advantage to that point those are the game-defining moments, and that is why they are hosting their AFC Championship, and that's why Patrick Mahomes is going to get Michael Jordan comparisons, because Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, despite how great these guys are, they can't get over the Patrick Mahomes hump, and it's really upsetting because we had our opportunities tonight.
Yeah, for sure we did, and not Lamar Jackson though, because the haters in the building, so he got to get that work. Anyways, he's dope, but still. It stings, man. It stings. And, rookie DC, rookie OC, no one wants to hear that nonsense, right? The fact is we won every game we played at home this year at home. We had the talent on the field that had got us there, even though we weren't technically supposed to be here before the season started. Once you go 13-4, no one wants to hear that shit no more.
That's out the window. No one's out the window. That's out the window.
So, yeah, we weren't supposed to be here, and we got here, and that's cool. So if you look at before the season expectations, yeah, we exceeded them. But, I don't give a damn right now. And so it is what it is. Yeah, you take this one a stride, you try again next year, but the pain still goes through right now. It's still real right now. We can go in the playoffs and we can beat Lamar Jackson. We can go in the playoffs. We can beat, all these other guys. Mahomes is the guy. He's the bugaboo, man. And so you got to just kind of deal with how he, just is a magic man out there, man. We got Superman. They got the magic man. And one of Superman's weaknesses is magic. Kryptonite, and that sorcerer out there.
And it's beyond that. It's coaching. It's the ability to coach in clutch situations and tight situations, and consistently understanding, despite that you've had success in the ball game, continuing to fight the resistance against your opposition, because they are continuously coming back. So you have to do the same thing. And the type of play calls, Kansas City was showing pressure all night. That pressure bust the pipe tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And
when it came from different places, corner,
absolutely,
from everywhere.
Absolutely. And this, is really.
I see the Fire McDermott's are in the building. Here we go. It's not complete without that.
It's not about firing McDermott. It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're being a prisoner of the moment type shit, right? Because McDermott, what he's able to do, build a program and understanding how to build the program, the camaraderie that him and Brandon Bean has, and maximizing players' talents and believing in development and progression. Those are traits that he has. Those are not traits every coach have. So it starts with building a program and understanding how to do so, and Sean McDermott knows how to do that. So when you talk about firing McDermott, are you ready for the next coach that's about to come in? Is he able to build a program? Can he progress players and develop players? Can him and his GM provide the necessary guys to get to mesh in the system? It's about building an entire system, and Sean McDermott has done an excellent job doing so. And we've been put in positions to win these type ball games, and we just haven't been able to do so. We just haven't been able to get over that hump. And Josh Allen just Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills offense. Once again, we had ample amount of opportunities. I just felt that we got to get vertical. We have to get vertical at some point, and we have to attack. We have to attack. We have to get vertical, and we have to attack, and we have to be able to coach the game. And we have to say, you know what, this is what you're coming out with. Well, guess what? We're going to come out with something that you haven't prepared for, and we haven't had that play that Kansas City haven't prepared for. Everything that they saw on film from the Buffalo Bills is what they got from the Buffalo Bills. And we wasn't able to throw any counters whatsoever. And they had all the success of 16, 17 damn games of this Buffalo Bills offense to prepare for. And Joe Brady, Josh Allen, we just didn't have a counter to it. Josh Allen, in my opinion, did all that he could. We got Mac Hollins out there catching touchdowns, multiple touchdowns. We got Mac Hollins. Now think about that.
Led the team in touchdowns this year.
We got a player of his caliber, and I love Mac Hollins. I think he deserves an extension for the Buffalo Bills, him and both Ty Johnson as well at the running back position. But for that type of player, to him to be a running back, a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 4, some say wide receiver 5, to be in that position making plays, that's just a testament of team football. That's a testament of the Buffalo Bills staff. That's a testament of the talent of Josh Allen. So to be in that position, it's definitely great to see, but we want to finish, and we haven't been able to finish.
Yeah, I'm looking at this comment here. McDermott has asked, we have to go vertical. Do you hear yourself? We have been vertical. No, we haven't been vertical. We haven't been vertical.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some
folks don't even know what they're talking about.
They don't even know what they're talking about. When feelings are involved, you're just looking for you feel combative. You feel it's just like that. You just like when you drink too many tequila. And you feel a little violent when you get tequila. That's the mode right now. That's the mood of the Buffalo Bills and the aura right now, facing this loss and another great game and defeat to the Kansas City Chiefs. And we coming out on the losing end of a great game. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. So
yeah, we haven't been vertical all year. We come out and the vertical plays we run today worked. We got Khalil Shakir vertical. We hit Mac Hollins twice vertical, deep down the field, one for a touchdown. Like, verticality worked today because we haven't shown it all year.
But you have to be, as a coach, you have to be comfortable calling those type of plays consistently.
Yeah,
but sometimes you go back. Sometimes you go back to your not to what you're used to. And at the end of the day, in the crunch time situations, it's 3rd and 10. What we doing running a screen? Why are we running a screen? How much Josh Allen would utilize his legs today? Why wasn't Josh Allen a bigger component in the run game today? I understand he was being blitzed, but you got to have hot reads for those blitzes, right? Mm-hmm. We had preparation from last week's game against the Baltimore Ravens, so it's not like we haven't seen it before. We had some semblance of it the week before, so we should have been even more prepared for it because of the opposition gave us that look just 6 or 7 days prior. So for us not to be prepared as we should have, or as consistently as we should have been, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Yeah. We could talk about Christian Benford being out, and that played a significant role. But in my opinion, if you're going to ask me before the game, Josh Allen's going to get the ball down 3 minutes left in the ball game, 2 timeouts. Would you take that? I would take that 100 times out of 100. And this is why a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans are saying, "Hey, we possibly got away with one," because there's no guarantee Josh Allen would have drove the field down and scored a touchdown against the Baltimore Ravens defense in that situation. And who knows, right? That was an opportunity. These are legacy-defining moments in quarterbacks' careers. And this is another legacy-defining moment in Patrick Mahomes' career, and this is another legacy-defining moment in Josh Allen's career. And they're going to continue their path to continue to try to be successful and obtain that Lombardi Trophy. But who knows what may happen to the Buffalo Bills or Josh Allen? We expect to get here every year, but it's back to the drawing board. Now you got to deal with Kansas City Chiefs and Jamar Chase and Lamar Jackson again. We have to get through the apocalypse of the AFC once again, and it's frustrating to have this wasted opportunity when we could have won this game.
Yeah, we could have won this game. Probably should have won this game, but it is what it is, And I know a lot of people said that about the Ravens game last week too. That there's no guarantee Josh would have gone. We didn't need a touchdown. We needed a field goal. Still probably would have won that game. So it is what it is, man. It's it stings, it sucks, it hurts. But
you know how much different things you could do with Josh Allen on 4th and short. You know how much different things you can do besides the obvious. It's a theme going on right now in this game. Even on first downs, we're getting 9 yards and 8 yards. Right? We were getting 9 yards and 8 yards. There's a theme going on in this game, and the Buffalo Bills continue to run the same play. Why are we trying to run something different? Why didn't we have anything different in the arsenal just to give them a different look? Because if you give them one different look, then you can go back to that quarterback sneak because you gave different looks. Now, hey, you got to prepare for the outside pitch. Hey, you got to prepare for Cook getting the ball. You got to prepare for the rollout. You got to prepare for the bootleg. It's so much things you can run on 4th and short, on 3rd and short, on short yardage situations. And we ran a play that everybody knew we was going to run, and the Kansas City Chiefs prepared for because we ran it all season long, and we didn't divvy from it whatsoever. And that's the disappointing part. That's the disappointing part. Coach us. How I see it, as a coach, as an offensive coordinator, it doesn't matter who you have on the fucking field. As an offensive coordinator on 3rd and short, I have a design play to get my guys open and pick up a half a foot. I have a design play as a coach. And we've seen that from the opposition. We've seen that from Andy Reid. We've seen multiple guys. We've seen trick plays. Kareem Hunt get the ball. They run. They run in different formations. We've seen Isaiah Pacheco get the ball. We've seen Patrick Mahomes roll out and run that bootleg. We've seen a multitude of ways where the Kansas City Chiefs can get short yardage, and we showed that one way. And we didn't divvy from it, and that's what's the problem. Because how are you going to get over the hump if you're facing elite coaches in elite situations? This is the Super Bowl talk. You're trying to hoist a Lombardi Trophy. You're facing great teams and great coaches from here on out, and now you have to be a step above that. And I don't think, in my opinion, offensively, we would step above that tonight, coaching the football. As much as we talk about our defensive side of the ball and showing the lack of resistance all season long, our defense put us in a position where we wanted to be to win that game. Our defense put us in position where we wanted to be to win that game.
Yeah.
Despite Christian Benford being out, despite Taylor Rapp being out. They scored 32 points, but it was with Josh Allen's hands. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left in the ballgame. Our time, man. That's our time, baby. At this point, it don't matter. Free agency don't matter. The draft don't matter. None of that matters. It's about execution at this point. Now we're gonna have to talk about, hey, we need a safety, Damar Hamlin. He's not that good. We need a defensive line. Now we're gonna talk about that. It didn't matter at this point. At this point, this opportunity we had is about execution to make plays, and we didn't execute.
That's facts.
And that's the bottom line. Andy Reid, once again, his pedigree, Patrick Mahomes, Steve Spags, they executed to a higher level. And we executed to a high level to keep up throughout the course of the game. Josh Allen was brilliant at times, throwing darts, throwing piss missiles at times, Josh Allen. James Cook was incredible at times. Individual player performance, I can't be mad at in this game. What are we looking at? Josh Allen played a damn good game. James Cook was there. The defense stopped him where we wanted to stop him. It's about execution at that time, man. And we failed to do so at the most prominent time. And it's back to the drawing board.
Yep, it's back to the drawing board. But, you know, it's a fun time of the year to be back at the drawing board sometimes. But right now,
nah, it ain't fun. Nah, it ain't fun for me. Now I gotta look at draft picks and shit. Yeah. And I gotta worry about the Jets and the Dolphins again, and the media telling us that we gonna finish third place in the AFC East. I gotta worry about. Nah, it ain't fun for me.
I ain't worried about that shit anyway. It
ain't fun for me right now. I'm salty right now. I'm gonna get over it.
I know. I'm
gonna get over it. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'll be fine. You know, yeah. I go to Tree Leaf. You know, I make my visit there, and I'll be fine. You know? So
yeah, I mean, it was a hard game to watch at the end, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It was a hard game to watch at the end. We were in position. And you know, you stated this like you're so mad right now that anything I would have said at this point.
Yeah, it's fun. When you reach these levels, right? Yeah. When you reach AFC Championship, Super Bowl, it gets like this. You know, it gets like this. Me and you, we've had post games throughout this season going through this, and it's been a great season. Don't get me wrong. It's been fun. It's been great. The naysayers that say that Buffalo Bills wouldn't be where they supposed to be right now, you know, so it was a great season. But when you get to this point and have this opportunity in this situation, it's and not come through.
Mm-hmm. And so,
you know, you salty.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, there's some players on them Chiefs that, you know, I wish we had. Just so everybody knows, Worthy's not one of them that I wish we had. But
I mean,
some of the guys that we had a shot at, we could have had, but we don't got them. Leo Chenal, linebacker, I wanted him last year. We didn't grab him. There's guys out there that they got that we could have had that we didn't go get, and they're using them. And you know, we're out here with, you know, Kyrie Elam, and we need corners. But you know, everybody, I see a lot of comments. We need corners and we need a linebacker. And
I mean, I was going to say, yeah. Where do we go from here? Obviously, this was like supposed to be the transition year, right? This was supposed to be a step back year for the Buffalo Bills, where this is why they wasn't looked at as a prominent team in the NFL, because they lost so many players: Trey White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs. They lost so many players, and they ain't Mitch Morse, and they ain't have the money and the cap flexibility to really reload, right? You feel me? It was kind of cap restrict, right? So 2025 this year was a year where it's like, okay, the Buffalo Bills can make more moves in 2025. They got more cap relief. They have the draft picks, 2 second rounds picks and multiple 4th round picks. So they have the draft capital and they have more money to be more of a player in free agency. So they're going to take a step back this year and look to next year, right? So, but obviously, coming this close, you want to have a victory. You want to go to the Super Bowl. But looking into the offseason, where do we go from here? Obviously, we can definitely improve that safety position. I love DeMar Hamlin, and I don't oppose of him getting a second contract, but I would definitely, of course, I would definitely want to upgrade the safety position. I definitely want to upgrade the cornerback position. I definitely want to. Amari Cooper, I don't know if he's coming back. I'm not sure if I would bring Amari Cooper back. He's going to command some money. I probably would want to go younger and get a player. We have the draft capital to get some talent at that position. And Joe Brady coming back, looking at how Amari Cooper played since he come to the Buffalo Bills, I'm not even sure if Joe Brady can really command that type of offense and play design to Amari Cooper's position, right? That type of position. He struggled in terms of he's the number 1 receiver, but he's been overlooked for the most part of the season. We saw Stephon Diggs kind of struggle. He's the number 1 receiver, kind of struggling in his offense. So because of that, I'm not sure if I would invest money into Amari Cooper. I'll go in a different direction. I would get a skilled player at the wide receiver position, big, love to block and able to separate. So Josh Allen has another weapon, but it's definitely some improvements we can have definitely on the defensive side of the ball for the Buffalo Bills. And I would definitely sprinkle some guys on offense. We have our core is back, Our offensive line is back. Cook is back. Majority of our receivers back is back. I would extend contracts to Ty Johnson and Matt Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely expand, and I think those guys will be cost-effective contracts. Mm-hmm. And I would load up on the defensive side of the ball this offseason. I'm loading up. I'm beefing up on D-line. I'm beefing up in the secondary. You see what Philadelphia did? Yeah. They got Jalen Carter and all those guys and all those horses. Yeah. I'm beefing. I'm trying. All right, you know what? I'm trying to beef up. I'm trying to get scary on the defensive side of the ball. So I want to defend. I want to beef up this offseason on the defensive front and in the secondary as well. Rasul Douglas, I love him. We'll see what happens.
I think he's gone, man.
I think he's going as well.
We owe him $7 million, and he didn't have to play for us because he's a boy here.
But here's the thing with Christian Benford, his second concussion, he's going to come back, of course, but that's something we can't overlook, because of that. I want to have, and Teron Johnson have concussion issues as well, that I want to have stability. I want to have depth on the defensive backfield. I have to have depth on the defensive backfield. So I want to add more corners. I want to definitely add a defensive one tech.
Yeah. Oh no. That's my number 1 pick.
You got to have a 1 tech. We have to be better. We have to show more resistance on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, if I can get a 1 tech worthy of the first overall pick, I'm doing that. And if not, I'm moving up. But we got 2 second-round picks. They're both late since the Vikings, decided to be good this year, and Sam Darnold decided that he wanted to show up. But yeah, we got 2 second-round picks. We have, was it a third, and then like fourth or 4/5 or something like that. We got a lot of picks. And so we have the ammo.
We should get a 4th round pick from. So we have 2 4ths right now, but we should get another 4th round pick from. I forgot who we lost last year. Possibly Gabe Davis.
I think it's Gabe. Yeah,
I think it's Gabe Davis. We should get a 4th round pick. So we should have 2 or 3 4th round picks. We should have multiple 2nd round picks. We have a 1st round pick. So we could indeed, we get better. And I think we have to get meaner. We got to get more athletic. I feel like I've been saying for years that the Buffalo Bills have to get more athletic as a team. And I see that a little bit on the defensive side of the ball with Cole Bishop. I think he plays solid for his rookie season. I think he's going to get better. Mm-hmm. But in Taylor Rapp, I think he's a crucial piece to the Buffalo Bills defense, but I do think he's a tad injury prone. So I want to invest. I do want to invest in that safety position this offseason. Yeah. I want to upgrade that DeMar Hamlin. At worst, I want to upgrade that DeMar Hamlin position. I would even entertain getting a DeMar Hamlin back, and he could be a rotational piece. But
I don't know if you do that if you're DeMar Hamlin, though. You know, like I
why
was a
not?
starter. So he was a starter. Clearly, next year is probably gonna be Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp. If I'm DeMar Hamlin, I might be searching for a spot. Levi Wallace was the same way, right? Levi Wallace wasn't coming back to be a backup.
He's the type of guy that I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think he's been through a lot in the city of Buffalo, and I think he has a special connection in the city of Buffalo. And at the end of the day, you know, certain guys know, right? We have to start to get an understanding. Guys have to start getting an understanding. Not only players but coaches. Coaches are starting to turn down head coaching jobs because they're not desirable, right? I don't want to become a head coach because I might get fired after my first year. That's why the Saints head coaching job is not as desirable. That's why Joe Brady elected to stay with the Buffalo Bills. That's why Ben Johnson elected to stay with the Detroit Lions multitude of years before he decided to get a head coaching job this year. And I think it's the same. It should be looked at as in the same way for players as well, especially players like DeMar Hamlin. This is the defense that you play best in. There's no guarantee that they're going to excel in another defense. We've seen what happened to guys that left the Buffalo Bills defense. We've seen what happens to Levi Wallace. We see what's going on with guys like Trey White. We see what's going on with guys that left the Buffalo Bills that had success and didn't have the consistent success after leaving Buffalo. And you are a certain fit. And I think his play style is best suited with Buffalo. So hopefully he realizes that. And I think Buffalo is a loyal Brandon Beane is a loyal organization that would offer to extend him a contract that they think he's worth. So we'll see what happens there. But the safety position is definitely a position I want to upgrade as well as one tech in the defensive front for the Bills.
Yeah, the defensive line, safety, and probably an outside corner. It's probably another spot to go after. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like on offense, the offensive line is fine in my opinion. They didn't have a great night tonight, but they weren't terrible. A lot of the exotic blitzing is what caused a lot of that problems on offense. If you have a better number one wide receiver than we had, you know, maybe you can dial some stuff up. Maybe that's why they weren't that confident. I mean, if Mac Hollins is the only guy making big plays and he's your fifth wide receiver, you know, maybe they're like, I don't know, but they need to address the defense first, because the defense, even though they didn't let us down today, they still allowed 29 points. They allowed 25 last week. You know, like, it's a problem. It's a problem. So we got to get this thing right, man. You know, and usually I'm more talkative about this stuff, you know. But man, I just let you rage today.
You know, I was very confident coming into this game. I thought
you and
that
I both. I wasn't worried at all.
I was really confident coming into this game. I felt that we had an opportunity to win this game, but I did have. So here was the red flag, right? Here was the red flag, and here's why ultimately I see why the Buffalo Bills lost.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you would have added if you would have added another 5 minutes to the Baltimore Ravens games, we don't know what would have happened. The time just ran out for the Baltimore Ravens, right? And they found that blueprint. And the Buffalo Bills in this game, I just felt that the Kansas City Chiefs found that blueprint, and we wasn't able to combat that on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's a formula to everything. You know, despite how aggressive a defense is, despite who's coming, despite the blitz, there's a formula to everything. There's hot reads. There's those things as an offensive coordinator that you have to prepare for, and you should be prepared for coming into a game like the Kansas City Chiefs. You had a semblance of an idea from last year's game. You was the offensive coordinator last year's game, you know? So I felt that in this situation where I felt that we was a team that was stuck in our system, and we couldn't get out of our system. You know how some coaches are like, you know what?
There's coaches that have a system and you could play in that system, and if you don't fit that system, well, it's not going to work. And there's other coaches that says, what are your strengths? What do you do best? What's going on in the game? What's the flow of the game? They're playing man in the game. How can I combat this? Right? There's coaches that are able to adjust to the game and to the flow of the game into what the opposition was doing. And I felt Joe Brady in this game, in this instance, was stuck in his ways. You've seen what's going on. You know, there's formulas and philosophy. They're blitzing. There's hot reads everywhere. You feel me? You have to pick up on a hot read. You have to have the right communication on the offensive line between Josh Allen and your running backs throughout the whole offense. But there's a hot read there. And there is ways to combat the aggressive play calling that the Kansas City Chiefs was playing. And I don't think that the Buffalo Bills was just prepared for it, or even if they were prepared for it, they just didn't care because they were so used to running certain plays in certain situations all season long that they didn't have a secondary play to come out of those plays that was being stopped in the that wasn't being stopped in the regular season, right? It wasn't being stopped. And Tony Romo talked about it all before the game. Once you get down to the 1 or 2, you just run that tush push and it's automatic. Well, shit, it's not automatic. It's not automatic. And you have to have plays. And you have to have plays now. You have to have plays now to combat that. And that's the unfortunate thing. The theme just knocked us in the head. Now it could have been, I could have understood if it was happening 1 or 2 times. Nah, it knocked us in the head, 3rd, 4th, and short, over and over and over and over. We ran the same play over and over and got stopped over and over, but continued to run the same play over and over. Like, come on, dog. Like, what we doing? What we doing? It's time. You're a guru. You had head coaching interviews for a reason because of success. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Bro, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Like, why don't you just hand it off? We got big running back like Ray Davis. Hand it off. It's 1 yard. But you know, like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to the questions that you and I both have, because while we say we don't have the talent, we still got to this point. So that means that we don't have the talent really can't be true.
No.
So if that can't be true, and so we do have the talent, then you got to do something different. You have to have other plays. You can't stick to the same play you've been dependent on all year just because it worked all year. This is the AFC Championship game. This isn't all year. This is today. It's time to put all the chips on the damn table, because the Chiefs did when it was 4th and 8, and we needed to get that first down. They didn't just sit on their damn hands and run the same shit over and over again. No, they ran a corner blitz. Some shit we didn't see all year. They had something in the bag, and then reached in the bag. They slapped it on the table like a damn revolver and said, "Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it."
But see, here's the thing, right? This is why there's levels to coaching, and you can't make rash decisions and emotional feelings towards coaches, because of there is a lot that goes into coaching. There's coaches that can't coach at all, can't get things right, can't draft, can't progress players, just don't get things right. There's players that can build a program, but they can't get over that next level. You feel me? So the Buffalo Bills, in terms of Sean McDermott and our coaching staff, we're on a level where it's time to face elite level type coaching. And it's not about playing 60 minutes for the players. It's about coaching 60 minutes for coaches. And then when it's time to coach against elite level coaching, how are we going to respond? And in this game, the Kansas City Chiefs coaching staff was better than the Buffalo Bills coaching staff. We didn't make no turnovers. But overall, they had a higher level of execution on a more consistent basis than the Buffalo Bills. So if that is the case, and we're going to keep a guy like Sean McDermott, and we're going to want to be in this situation next year or in future years where we want to be in AFC Championship games to hoist the Lombardi Trophy, we're going to have to face elite level coaching once again. So what's the difference have to be? We have to upgrade in talent. That's how I see it, because we got here with, I love DeMar Hamlin, but we can upgrade off of DeMar Hamlin. I love our defense, but we can upgrade on our interior defensive line. We could upgrade at the cornerback position. We can upgrade at the wide receiver position. I wouldn't ignore offensive line. I love David Edwards, but if there's a guard out there that can challenge him with the amount of picks we have, I wouldn't be opposed. You know,
we might have
so
one on the roster already that might be able to challenge him.
We have to get it. I'm looking at our coaching staff as a great coaching staff, but when you get to a certain point, now we have to have the necessary players to take us over the top. And as much and Josh Allen's a great player. He can't do it by himself against Patrick Mahomes, against the Michael Jordan of football right now. Right? James Cook, I think DM3. Shout out Dave Myers. Shout out DM3. We was going back and forth in terms of if James Cooks is a special player, and I didn't think he was. I thought he was slightly above average. James Cook is a special player.
Yep.
He's a special player. Shout out DM3 for that. So we have pieces. We need more. We need more talent. There are media pundits had Miami Dolphins, had the New York Jets winning the AFC East for a reason, because we didn't roster construction overall. When you look at the paper, we have the roster, right? And you look at the names on the roster. DeMar Hamlin, Cole Bishop, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Ty Johnson, Ray Davis. When you look at the roster and you look at Baltimore's roster and you look at Kansas City's roster, or you look at these other rosters, like, okay, this is why the Buffalo Bills don't have the talent roster construction wise to compete with these upper echelon teams, but we do. And the reason we do is because our coaching staff put our players in the best position to win, put our players in the best positions to be successful. But when we get to the elite points, now it's up to our players. This is what I evaluated. Now it's up to our players. We here now. You know how his coaches say, "Oh, yo, I can take you here, but now that you're here, it's up to y'all from this point, right? I can get you to this point as a coach. I can get you here, but once I get you here, it is up to you from this point." Mm-hmm. Right? And we don't have enough players because, the coaching, opposition coaching might be a little better. We might not have, we don't have enough players to say, hey, at least this season, to say, hey, we have to get here. We have to get over the top. So 2025, everybody said that this was supposed to be our bounce back year. In a year in 2024, we made the AFC Championship. We can't be messing around. We have to, if I'm Brandon Bean, don't mess around. Don't play around. Attack this offseason and get players. Mm-hmm. Attack. We see what happened with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know the cap is different and the money is different in baseball, but the philosophy behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, they won championships. They won back-to-back championships, and they're still in attack mode. We have to be in attack mode this offseason, and we have to attack the positions we feel we need to upgrade. Otherwise, if we're not doing that, and if we're relying on the same philosophy, we're wasting Josh Allen's years.
Yeah. Can't argue with any of that. We do need to upgrade our talent. And when you get to the upper echelon, you have to have the talent. You have to have guys who can get off of blocks. You have to have guys who can close the pocket and keep the quarterbacks contained. You have to have corners who can stick with wide receivers. You have to have guys who don't just have talent schematically wise, or I can bring the most out of you wise. You have to have guys who have physical talent, guys who have speed, guys who can jump, guys who are tall, guys who have size, guys who have strength. You have to bring in those guys too. It can't just be this guy's a scheme fit, so let's bring him in. And you have to adjust your scheme to the players you have. And that's been, I think, one of the biggest bugaboos for McDermott is adjusting his scheme to the guys he has. He has been able to adjust players to play better in his scheme. And so that's one thing I would say about McDermott that I see as a bit of a negative.
And is that it? And honestly, when you get to this level, at this point, the reason why I talk about talent, the reason why I talk about talent is because the coaching staff for the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, he's not going anywhere. Joe Brady, he's not going anywhere. So how they coach, their philosophy, their schematics, how they design plays, they're not going anywhere. So how else can we get better? We can get better based on the talent. We can upgrade offensively and defensively because we have enough cap flexibility, more than we had in years past, especially last year, right? So we have more cap flexibility to make moves. But of course, at the end of the day, we have to be able to execute. And sometimes our coaches is going to have to call the necessary plays to execute the necessary down and distance situations. And I feel a lot of the reason the Buffalo Bills didn't hoist the Lombardi Trophy now, despite the success we've had, is because of the lack of execution in late in games and clutch time situations against these upper echelon opponents. So it's definitely unfortunate that we got to go back to the drawing board.
We do, because this loss wasn't just on any one aspect of it. First half, Josh was a little bit of crazy legs, first quarter. Second quarter, he picked it up. But then we had drops by Kincaid. The defense kind of fell apart. Then they got back on. They couldn't stop the run at first. Then they could stop the run, and then they couldn't again. And so one of the biggest thing was adjusting to the adjustment.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Pick a side. Who you blame more for this game, offense or defense?
Defense.
You blame the defense more than you blame the defense more in this game?
They allowed almost 30 points.
They allowed 32.
They allowed 30. They allowed 30 plus points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't blame Josh. He didn't have any turnovers. He didn't fumble the ball. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't do anything crazy like that. He played within himself, and it is what it is. He didn't turn the ball over, not once.
So let me ask you a question. I love the fact that Joe Brady, what he brought to the table with the Buffalo Bills offense is keeping turnovers down. We don't turn over the ball. The point differential is outstanding for the Buffalo Bills, and we completely look at Josh Allen differently over the course of this season based on how he played and keeping a secure a nest of the football, right? But is Joe Brady's system too safe? Is it too safe?
No, it's not. It was too safe this year because of the weaponry we had. Right? You had Keon Coleman, a rookie, and you had Mac Hollins as your 1 and 2 for the first 6 games of the season. So you had to design an offense that was going to play to these guys' strengths, and it did. And then you brought in Amari Cooper, and he had a few good plays here and there. But the offense that they designed for this season with these players specifically was designed to be safe. If you look at him when he was at LSU and he had Jamar Chase and he had Justin Jefferson, that shit wasn't safe at all. That shit was dangerous. It was dangerous. But he designed an offense this year that maximized the abilities of his weapons. Now, hopefully, they can go out and get him, some more firepower. I mean, I think we know
what? Like what? Like what? For example,
like a stud receiver, not necessarily like a superstar like a Diggs or an Amari Cooper, but someone with some speed, someone with some size. Like I like Mac Hollins.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're going. I'm not sure if that's going to work because Mac Hollins is the type of Mac Hollins, Keon Coleman. Those guys are the type of receivers where they don't mind getting dirty in the run game.
No, they don't at all.
And I'm looking at Joe Brady's offense in terms of running and have the identity to run the football, the wide receivers being able to block and having the size and having the willingness to do so is a big proponent to why the Buffalo Bills run the game is successful. Now, when you're talking about better receivers,
you're taking away something that is not talked about, and that's the dirty work part of the offense that comes from the receiver.
Yep.
And that's what's necessary in Joe Brady's offense. And that's why, in my opinion, that's why Mac Hollins is the guy being successful. That's why Mac Hollins is the guy catching these touchdowns in crucial situations, because he's the guy that's willing to get down and dirty. Amari Cooper is the outside receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Steph. He's not the blocking type, and he's the Steph. He's the number one. And that's where I'm starting to think where, hey, I'm not sure if Joe Brady can consistently get the balls to those type of guys.
Well, he's not throwing it, and so
But
we need guys.
He's designing that. He's designing an offense, though.
Well, yeah, but he had to design it against the guy around the guys he has. So he's not going to design an offense that's designed for a Justin Jefferson and a Jamar Chase for Mac Hollins and Keon Coleman. He's just not doing that. That's not smart. You don't have the horse to run that, to pull that buggy, right? You have to have a buggy that these horses can pull. And so that's where I'm at with that. Is like you.
So what you mean by the but so Stephon Diggs is not a type of receiver that's a buggy that you can pull. Amari Cooper and Stephon Diggs are nice type of receivers you can really. So what type of receiver? So we're looking. So if that's the case, we're looking for.
Here's the thing with Amari. Amari got here after the buggy was built.
So
it was already built. The buggy was built for Keon Coleman, for Curtis Samuel, for Khalil Shakir, for Mac Hollins. Like, it was built for those horses.
Yeah, but he was brought in for a reason. He was brought in to make some type of what I'm thinking right now. Here's what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
We need a DK Metcalf type receiver. We got to get a guy that's going to obliterate guys in the run game, and we got to get a guy that can get open and have separation as a wide receiver. That's what I'm thinking. If you want to upgrade, because I'm not the type of. And this type of offense in Joe Brady, it's not just about, hey, we got to get a receiver, a good receiver that can run routes and catch the football. I think it's more to that.
Well, we have to can run routes. What we need isn't I don't want to say we need an alpha, right? Because we had that in Diggs, but those guys command too much attention, right? They have to have it.
Now we need a receiver that's able to get open and that's able to that's willing to get down and dirty. We need a better version. We need a number one receiver version of a Mac Hollins. That's what we
like an AJ Brown.
That's what we need. AJ Brown, George Pickens, even a guy like him. George Pickens.
T. Higgins about to be a free agent, man.
I don't know about him.
Hey,
I don't know about him. But
I think if you put him on this team with Shakir and Mac Hollins, the big body receiver who can get open, and he run blocks, willing to get dirty out there. Like he's the type of guy you just named.
Yeah,
and he's also selfless. He's not out there. He's not out there bitching and moaning about not getting the ball. He knows he got Jamar Chase in the squad. He comes here, he's not going to have that problem so much. But yeah, the Bills need somebody on the offense who can be that guy who's dependable. If you need it, you got it. But when the game's going well and he's not getting the ball, he can live with that. Amari Cooper's been that guy kind of this year, but he got here late. If they were to bring him back, I think that they would incorporate him and his strengths into the offensive scheme more. But it's hard to do that after you've already built the offense for these other guys.
So why bring him here? Why bring him here?
Because he's a decoy. He's a distraction.
But that ain't. We're talking. We want one way and we want the other, right?
The Chiefs got it both ways. Why the hell can't we?
The Chiefs got it both ways. Where they got it both ways?
They got it both ways. So what they'll do is right. They'll use the flats, right? They'll use the flats. They'll use those screen passes, right? We do the same damn thing. It works for them. It don't work for us. They want to get downfield. They got guys who can get downfield. It works for them. Today it worked for us, but it doesn't always. You have to have it so you can do both things. As of right now, this offensive scheme was built to do one thing: run the ball and get short passes. We've been lateral all year, passing, freaking crossing routes, mesh concepts, slants. We've been that all year. We haven't really done anything deep this year. Why? Because we don't have the ponies for it. And then you get Amari Cooper, but it's not part of your offense. So now yeah, on occasion you got him deep and you used him in a way that he was able to be used, but your offense is still not designed for that. It's just not. It wasn't built like that from day one. And then you can go and you can try and build it from day one next year. But now we're talking about next year, and we're already pissed the fuck off because we're here.
I'm not. Let me tell you something. I don't know what everybody else feel. I'm not paying Amari Cooper. I'm not paying Amari Cooper.
I'm not either.
To come back. And I can get that. We have the capital.
It's just an example.
Yeah, I'm not paying Amari Cooper to come back.
No, I mean if he takes a discount, maybe, but I'm not paying him like Amari Cooper money. Huh?
Yo, Joey, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know. You don't bring no number one wide receiver to be no decoy. Amari Cooper had 10 games, 11 games with the Buffalo Bills offense this season. You know, at some point, we gotta evaluate. Okay, why this guy's not making plays? At some point, Stephon Diggs, he went the last 10, 11 games without making an impact. At some point, we gotta evaluate why haven't Stephon Diggs made that impact? Why didn't Amari Cooper make that impact? Now it doesn't matter at this point. We eliminate.
Yeah.
Right. So, but at this point, we have to look at the production on the field and say, okay, you're a free agent now. Based on what you have done, you came in as a decoy. I'm going to pay you. Should we pay Amari Cooper now? Because you know you was a decoy. You shouldn't
pay him.
Let's give you a 2-year, $20 million contract. That's what I'm thinking. The base contract will be for Amari Cooper at this point. 2-year, $20 million, $10 million a season.
So allow me to rephrase what I mean by they brought him here as a decoy. They brought him in here to take attention from the other receivers, right? Because they were getting blanketed. If you look at the games we played against Baltimore and against Houston, our receivers were getting blanketed. And so they had to do something about the receiver room. So they brought him in here, and he was a decoy. What did he do all year? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. He had, 1 or 2 touchdowns for us this year? He was a damn decoy.
He had some moments in the first Chiefs games.
That's what they brought him here for. Apparently, that's what he did.
In the first Chiefs games, he had a couple of one-hand grabs. He had a touchdown his first game coming into the Buffalo Bills. But it wasn't. I'm not sure. Okay, put it like this. I'm not sure if I don't think it would have made a difference either way. I think the Buffalo Bills, despite the trade, would have been in this situation, despite the trade for Amari Cooper, if that makes sense.
So if we didn't trade for him, we'd still be here.
I think we'd still be here.
Okay. I don't disagree with you because we played a bunch of games without him because he was hurt. And here's another comment here. Cooper was here because he cost less than $1 million. He cost us $880K to bring him in. So he was a number one receiver.
It was a good investment.
$80K. So,
but
you can do that for a decoy.
But this is why this is unacceptable. This is why I'm not buying the decoy shit.
I don't think his purpose was decoy. I think it became decoy once he got here.
But where the NFL?
Yeah.
Right. This is elite level. This is high level stuff. Especially the further you advance, it's more high level stuff. It can work initially, right? Amari Cooper, he's with a new team. He's a decoy. You know, it can work initially, but now you put in 3 games, 4 games, 10 games, 11 games. You have 2 months worth of film with Amari Cooper in that offense. You know. So I know it's a decoy, but at some point now, how much are we going to call for this Amari Cooper as a decoy? These teams are going to start to adjust. Okay, he looked like a decoy initially. Nah, he's not no decoy. He's just another guy out there. we're stopping this run. We're stopping this tush push. He's just another guy out there. He's not a guy that is a focal point for the Buffalo Bills. He's not a guy that we can worry about for the Buffalo Bills. He's just another guy out there. And I think he became that decoy into obviously being that other guy out there. It was obvious now at this point of the season that he was just the other guy out there. Mm-hmm. And that is why I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't. And I appreciate Amari Cooper. I think he's one of the better, more underappreciated receivers in the NFL. And I think he should be a Hall of Famer at some point in this league. 10,000 yards as a receiver, you know, multiple 1,000-yard receiving years and with multiple teams. I don't think that's nothing to be sniffed at. But
with this in this season, I don't, I just wouldn't pay money with the capital I have and the needs I need to
If you look at his
invest
games
in
played
Amari
this year,
Cooper.
if you look at his games played this year, first game with us was against Tennessee at 66 yards. The next game, 3 yards. The next game, 55 yards. Next game, 12 yards. Next game, 95 yards. Next game, 0 yards on 0 targets. Next game, 10 yards. Next game, 56. Next game, 8. He may not have been brought here to be a decoy, but that's what he became. That's what he became. Like, you can see it in the numbers. Every now and then he'd pop off and have a game of 60 yards or so. On average, that would be one of his better games. And then 0, 3 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard. Like, it's a freaking decoy, man. Like,
And
it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck. It's a goddamn duck.
I think it's rough. It's rough because I have to salute Joe Brady because we take care of the football like no other now.
Yeah.
We take care of the football, and that's because of him. That's because of his offense and his scheme. The way we take care of the football, it gives us a chance in every game to be successful. But I do think this game, the players did as much as they can do, right? It was it was a piss missile over the middle to Khalil Shakir for a big the first down. It was that piss missile to Mac Hollins for the touchdown. It was that play where James Cook made to tie the game at 29 when he on his hand and his knee didn't go down. He stretched over it for the first down. It was the turnover for the Buffalo Bills and that defense. It was everything was the extent of the players. Players did as much. The players for the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, despite I know Dawson Kincaid could have probably had an opportunity to catch that football.
It's a hard catch, though.
That's a hard catch, though. That's a hard catch. That wasn't no easy thing right there. That was Josh Allen, and he was trying to make something happen. The players, in my opinion, did as much as they can do. For the Buffalo Bills, and I think that in one of those situations, one of those third and shorts, one of those fourth and shorts, you up by a touchdown. I mean, you up by a point. You're down 3 at one of those points. You have to have a play in your arsenal as an offensive coordinator, as a guy that calls plays. This is how I'm looking at it. If I'm looking at a guy, if I'm calling plays, now I could be wrong. I know I'm not an offensive guru. I'm not in the NFL circles. I'm sitting here doing a podcast, right? But if I'm an offensive coordinator and I have and it's third and short, fourth and short multiple times, I would pride myself in having a play as an offensive coordinator to design where I can get a half a yard, where I can get a yard, So that's the frustrating part, in my opinion. It was no creativity behind anything in short yardage situations. It was almost like you rather be in 3rd and 4 as opposed to 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. You rather be 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 because that's the perfect situation in Joe Brady's offense to be in, because in that 4th down situation, we didn't have a play to counter. And in 3rd and long, 3rd and long situation, we're going to throw a screen. We're going to throw some type of screen in 3rd and 9 to get 3-4 yards to end up in a 4th and long situation. So those was the frustrating things about the Buffalo Bills. I think the players did as much as they possibly could do tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they talent-wise, they were outmatched. It is what it is. Talent-wise, they're outmatched. But they performed at the highest level I thought they could as well. And, yeah, it's unfortunate that the coaching couldn't propel them any further. That's what it boils down to. The coaching couldn't propel them any further because the coaching was not confident, I guess, in them or in themselves or whatever it was. It felt like a lack of confidence from the coaching staff.
So what does it say about Sean? What does it say about Sean McDermott? I'm looking at him every year. He got 13 wins this year. He had 13 wins a couple seasons prior. He's been in the playoffs 7 out of 8 seasons, I believe. Sean McDermott is never in consideration for coach of the year. The Buffalo Bills didn't have the roster and the team everybody thought they would have to be successful, and they're here at this point, and Sean McDermott is never in consideration to be coach of the year. Is this the reason why?
I don't think so, because it's a regular season award. Why would this be the reason why? It's a regular season award. If in the regular season you propel a team like this year, he should have been in the running for it. He had a team that was supposed to go third in the division and be a 5-win team, and he took them to 13 wins, and he beat the Chiefs and the Lions. That's a regular season award. I don't think that has anything to do with Coach of the Year. I'm not sure what it is. Time to move on.
Time to move on to who though? Who is a better coach at this point than Sean McDermott? Because who is going to come in, understand how to build a team, pick a defensive coordinator to be successful, pick an offensive coordinator to be successful, understand to have the continuity with his GM to draft the right players to fit in his philosophy to be successful. This is why Christian Benford and Cole Bishop and got late round picks, a multitude of late round picks are able to be successful. That's not by coincidence. That's because of the tutelage of Sean McDermott and what he's able to bring as a coach. So we're going to forget all about that and drop all that because he's at this point, and I understand and I get the frustration, but when you get another coach, you can't ignore the other factors to being successful. And the other factors to being successful beyond this is understanding how to build a program, understanding how to hire a successful GM, successful offensive, defensive coordinator, know how to galvanize the troops, be a leader of men. You have to be able to do a lot of the things that we're overlooking because we're upset as fans as where Sean McDermott is right now in terms of being stopped as a coach at this point of the season. But in terms of who he is as a coach and the program he's able to build with the combination and the lockstep he's in with Brandon Beane, again, cannot be overlooked. But I do believe that Brandon Beane is not aggressive enough. I love what he is. It's time to attack the offseason. I understand that you want to get your players and build progression, develop guys, but attack guys. You see talent out there. You have weaknesses. Go and get this talent. So I think that is where we see opposing fans, the first thing they would tell me is like, yo, y'all messing around with Josh Allen. Y'all wasting Josh Allen years. Y'all Brandon Beane playing around. The reason why they feel that way is because we don't have household names. We have a bunch of guys that's not household names that are being successful and having team success. But when you get to a certain point of the season in these type of games, you want to have more of you. Elite talent is better. Elite talent is best, right? So I think this season, Brandon Beane, stop, don't mess around. Go ahead, attack this season, and go and get as much talent as you possibly could. Be aggressive.
And I'll touch on that too. If you look at the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, there's been 3 head coaches to beat them in the playoffs. 3 head coaches: Bill Belichick, Bruce Arians, and Zach Taylor. That's it. That's it. 2 quarterbacks: Tom Brady, Joe Burrow. That's it. No other quarterback, no other coach has beaten them in the playoffs. You look at the Buffalo Bills. It's almost the same thing. We lost to Deshaun Watson back in his first year before we got Diggs, right? Then we got Diggs. It's been Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, Zach Taylor, and Joe Burrow since then. That's it. They don't lose to other people in the playoffs other than those 2 combinations thus far. And today, I realize I put an L up here. Yeah, we taking this L. Who is out there that you're going to go get that's only losing to Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Like
Yeah, everything is about matchups.
It's a conundrum, and
and
it
we
sucks to be in it, but we in it. It is what it is. But you're gonna fire this guy. You're gonna go get Bobby Slowick. You ain't getting Bill Cowher. We tried to get him before. He said no. Chucky, that offense is complicated as hell. Okay, I'm not saying that Josh can't run it, but it's a very complicated offense, very complicated playbook, very complicated terminology. I'm not saying I'm against it, but he has won a Super Bowl, so you could argue that point. But very different NFL when he did. He did that back in 2003 with the Buccaneers. Like it's 2025. It's not the same NFL no more. Like it's not an easy thing to do, to move on from a coach who is not a bad coach. People out here saying he's trash. He loses to 2 coaches in the playoffs every year. That's it. And last I checked, Chucky loses to Andy Reid a lot too. He was in the same division as them. Didn't do a damn thing.
So right now, right.
Wade Phillips.
So, the most pressing need for the Buffalo Bills is what?
Are we talking about roster or what?
The most pressing need, period, in your opinion.
Most pressing need.
If you was the GM, what position are you attacking first to upgrade? I think we lost Izzy there. What position would you attack first to upgrade? And I know it's a lot of, we're going to have a lot of time to talk about this. This is just a moment where we were trying to reflect. Hopefully we can get Izzy back here. This is a moment we were trying to reflect. This is the emotions type of moment for our Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills fans as we lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game by the score of 32-29. It's been a great season, but I would definitely look to improve the defensive side of the ball first. For our Buffalo Bills, it is something that, we have a defensive coach. I think we pride ourselves on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that is something that is a position that we need to improve. We need to improve our defensive front. I'm not sure it's about sacks, but it's about having resistance. Gregory Rousseau, in my opinion, our ends didn't have a good game. Gregory Rousseau, we didn't have a good game on our ends. It's Patrick Mahomes, bro.
That's why I blame the defense.
It's Patrick Mahomes, bro. How much times are you going to lose contain as a defensive end, bro? You're not a sack artist. You average Gregory Rousseau around 8.5 sacks a season. I'm not mad at that. I'm not going to complain about that. You have flashes where it looked like you can be a double-digit sack guy, but you go ahead and have your regular. You're about an 8 to 9 sack a season guy, but you should be. I see Gregory Rousseau in terms of a great and stout run defender, being able to set the edge with that length. You're 6'5", you're 260 pounds. You have the speed and the athletic ability to chase down quarterbacks. And I thought he would use that length to set the edge better and hold containment better. And he wasn't doing that. He was falling down way too much to my liking. It's Patrick Mahomes. So the coaching staff, in my opinion, have to be like, reiterate to the players, like, this is Patrick Mahomes. We have to have containment here against Patrick Mahomes. What are we doing here? And we didn't have enough containment there. And I was just disappointed to see, Gregory Rousseau, he just fell down one too many times for my liking. And we have to do a better job containing. I understand the coaches kind of coach, but players have to play as well. And we have to understand who you're playing playing against as well. And trying to rush upfield, I don't know if you're trying to get sacks or trying to make the splash play, but you have to just do your job and do your 111 at the end of the day. And if you could have did just a better job of containment and keeping Patrick Mahomes inside the pocket, whereas he wasn't able to roll out and get those first downs, it could have been a difference maker in certain down and distant situations throughout the course of the game. So I was disappointed to see how our ends played, knowing our opposition, knowing our opponent, knowing the quarterback we are playing in this game.
Oh yeah, because you had Von Miller out there and he was making moves, but Mahomes had the out to Greg Rousseau's side all game. Like all game, he just had to just roll the other way, and that was it. And so, you asked me before what I think is the most important thing that they go after this year. I think it's a stud one tech defensive tackle, and get me a defensive end. Get another defensive end, somebody who can actually rush the passer, because that was a pathetic excuse of a contain. And it looked like they schemed themselves to make Greg Rousseau fall. Like the way they stunted their offensive lineman, they were stunning on our defensive line. Make an adjustment. Like there has to be an adjustment.
So you're saying get a defensive end? Does Von Miller come back? Because Greg Rousseau is on a 5-year contract. We exercised his 5th-year option, so he's coming back this season. What about Von Miller?
Von Miller, I don't know. If there's an out, then they probably take the out, or he retires.
He's not retiring. He's not gonna retire.
I don't know, man, but I think they need to bring another edge rusher in.
I think we need players at all 3 levels. Defensive tackle, definitely. I would love a defensive tackle and defensive end. 2 players on that defensive front. 2 players that can be difference maker along that defensive front. I would love that. We didn't show enough resistance throughout the course of the season in this game. We made great adjustments as a coaching staff in terms of half-job adjustments and coming out and making those necessary moves. And we was very opportunistic as a defense in terms of turning the ball over. But every season is a different season. And just because we was opportunistic in terms of turnovers this season doesn't mean we're going to be that way next season. So we got to have to upgrade certain positions and show some resistance. And defensive end, I would love to upgrade. Defensive tackle, I love to upgrade. I love to upgrade our defensive front to contain the run defensive better. I love to have pressure and provide pressure on the quarterback more. I'm not sure if we're going to make moves at the linebacker position. I believe Matt Milano's coming back. We have Terrell Bernard. We have Dorian Williams, who I think is coming along beautifully. I think he's going to take another step next season as a defensive player, Dorian Williams. So I would definitely make some moves on the defensive line. I think we're good at the linebacker position. Maybe some subtle moves, nothing crazy, nothing of impact. But defensive line, safety, corner, I would definitely look to upgrade for the Buffalo Bills defense. And on the offensive side of the ball, if I could find another offensive lineman, I'm always looking for offensive linemen because our identity with Joe Brady coming back, he's obviously with the Buffalo Bills, he's building continuity. He's going to be our offensive coordinator for next season. If there's another offensive lineman that can challenge maybe a David Edwards for a guard position that could be nasty and that could be mean and that can be a formidable run blocker, then I would definitely attack the offensive line and try to get better on at the receiver position. We'll see what happens with Mac Hollins. We'll see what happens with Ty Johnson. Maybe we could try to go and upgrade the running back position with Ty Johnson. Who knows? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And another thing, we talked about Von Miller and him being here or not. If they cut him straight up, they save $8.397 million. If they cut him post June 1st, they save $17.4 million.
Okay.
So if you want to go after a trade for like a Max Crosby or something like that, post June 1.
That a trade, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, those are trades I would definitely be looking at to make. Absolutely.
So you want a big dog?
Yeah,
you gotta
absolutely.
cut another post June 1, and then you go give them that bag. Because we need a game changer at defensive end. We got Greg Rousseau's not a game changer, but he's a solid end.
But he's a solid end that would be even better with a game changer on the opposite side. Gregory Rousseau with a game changer on the opposite side would be an even better player for the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, the Buffalo Bills, we've been going on an hour and 24 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Buffalo Bills lose the AFC Championship Game to the Kansas City Chiefs once again by the score of 33-29, 32-29. We had our moments, we had our opportunities, up 22-21, 4th and short, didn't capitalize. Down 3 points, 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the game, 4th quarter, the ball in Josh Allen's hands. We didn't capitalize. We didn't make enough plays to win the game. The Kansas City Chiefs once again made enough plays. They executed more than the Buffalo Bills to win this game. And they're going to go on to be trying to go for their three-peat, trying to be a dynasty team. And we was just another stepping stone in their dynasty. And that's what hurts. We're a stepping stone in the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's what it appears as of right now.
11:31. I'm done. I'm about to go. I haven't eat yet. I don't know what I'm about to do. I don't know.
I'm with you, man.
We'll see. I'm about to talk to my wife. I'm about to see if she can make me feel better.
Let's go, wife.
You feel me? So
Do
we'll. But I love my Bills. Great season, fellas. Great season, Buffalo Bills. Great season. I'm it's disappointing we got this far, and when you get this far, you want to go all the way. And I thought it was our time. I thought it was our season. I thought it was set up for us. But I love my Bills. I love the journey they took us through, and I'm going to be here for the rest of the journeys for the Buffalo Bills, because we still got a long way to go. Josh Allen is still in the prime of his career. We still got another 5-7 years of prime Josh Allen football. And as long as he's in the building, as long as we have Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, I think we're going to be in good hands. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Buffalo Bills, Bills and Buffalo post-game show. Unfortunately, we didn't have the W, but we appreciate everybody for tuning in for not only this game, but for the course of the season, Bills and Buffalo, man. It was a long season, and it's no off season for Bills and Buffalo, right? I know there's going to be some guys and some gals that's going to take some time off and to refresh and to recruit, recalibrate a little bit, but there's no off season. We're going to continue to provide the up-to-date content and Buffalo Bills content, and the draft is on the way and Super Bowl is on the way. I might be quiet for Super Bowl. I might be quiet, wait till Super Bowl is over, but
I'll probably be on after the Super Bowl. Red Zone Report.
Right.
Maybe. But then I'll probably take some time off, because after that ain't nothing. Let's be talking about UFO, which is weird. But yeah, probably be a little time off. But everybody, God bless. Go Bills.
Go Bills, baby. Go Bills.
Till next time.
Till next time.